Now we have to talk about Tupac, which I wasn't committed to, but then I watched the doc. So
Didn't know you were getting that.
you have a lot of people saying stuff in there that makes it sound like maybe he was responsible for that murder, which has never been proven. That's a very serious
But
thing.
you have Keefe D and over in Vegas now, getting ready to go on trial for that case, saying those things.
I told you you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
You know, I have my guys with me, Thug Life guys, and we heard what he had to say. He basically said he ain't have nothing to do with my brother's murder.
We don't talk about things that are nonsense.
You think he was lying?
Quite possibly, and it's kind of looking that way. Here we are 27, 28 years later. The theory involving him is quite high on the list. Our family, you know, we still suffer. He was all wrapped up, but he was still shaking.
So do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody.
See me fail, and in my mind sometimes when I'm drunk or I'm just laying down, I be thinking like, damn, is this true? Will I fail? Am I supposed to fail? I mean, should I just stop trying and give up? But then I'll be like, nah, hold on, that's exactly what they waiting for me to do, is to just say this is too much, I can't take it and give up. So now it's a fun little game that I cry at sometimes, I laugh at sometimes, I smile, I have good times and bad times, but it's a game. It's this game of life. Do I win?
50 Cent revisited the death of Tupac Shakur. It wasn't framed as an accusation. It was something more unsettling, a reminder. His words echoed questions the culture never buried, only avoided, known for precision and restraint. 50's timing mattered in an industry where silence often equals survival. What does it signal when a veteran finally decides to speak?
Quite possibly, and it's kind of looking that way. Here we are 27, 28 years later. The theory involving him is quite high on the list. Our family, you know, we still suffer. He was all wrapped up, but he was still shaking the bed. He really wanted to tell me something. I'm assuming it was something that had to do with the hit.
I get the feeling quite strongly that you don't believe Diddy. I don't think you believe a word of it.
Seems like he got a whole bunch of power, like absolute power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
What's your message, Sean Combs? Tupac Shakur was American hip-hop's brightest light until he was shot 4 times in a drive-by attack in 1996. His death shocked the world, and Tupac's legend has only grown since his murder, along with the fevered speculation about who planned it, who ordered it, and who did it. For 27 years, it was one of America's highest-profile unsolved crimes, until finally, a year ago, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was charged. He'd bragged about being inside the Cadillac from which the fatal shots were fired, albeit not by him, and awaits trial as the last surviving suspect. But there are many unanswered questions and a tangled web of claims embroidering notorious figures and an infamous East Coast-West Coast gang rivalry. Many people speculate that this web entangles P. Diddy. Sean Combs is, of course, facing trial on a battery of charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering. With his alleged crimes under the spotlight, members of Tupac's family have this week hired an investigator to examine the links between Diddy and the murder. And joining me now is Tupac Shakur's brother, Moprim. Well, Moprim, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know what time it is there.
It's like early evening in the UK. Are you in LA?
Currently.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of my people across the pond.
Well, it's great to have you here on Uncensored. Be very keen to talk to you because obviously a lot has happened to P. Diddy in recent weeks. He's now languishing in prison. Let me start, first of all, your reaction to what's happened to him.
Netflix documentary strips Tupac of mythology and restores him to reality, a man navigating loyalty, chaos, ambition, and isolation in real time. Instead of feeding conspiracy, it rebuilds context, power reshaped paranoia, influence amplified danger when a legacy grows larger than truth. Who benefits from the confusion that follows?
My favorite thing about 50 Cent's Netflix Diddy documentary is how he built a timeline off of this information. And one of my favorite parts of this documentary is them really getting into the timeline of events when it comes to Tupac and Biggie. And it really gives us a lot of perspective from people that were close to the situation, and a lot of people allege in this documentary that they believe that Diddy was very jealous of Tupac. And they pretty much go through everything from the quad incident and Tupac believing that Puffy was behind it, like he said in the Vibe interview, and they lay out this whole timeline of the downfall happening perfectly, in my opinion. We are even hearing from Greg Kading, the detective that worked on Tupac and Biggie's case in this documentary. He is the investigator that did that proffer agreement with Keefe D way back in 2008, where Keefe D alleged that Diddy tried to offer him $1 million to take out Tupac and Suge Knight. And Tupac's trial with Keefe D is coming up very soon in early 2026. And we know that Diddy's name has been dropped at least 200 times during these proceedings already. So this is one case that I am definitely waiting for and I am going to cover. In Keefe D's 2008 proffer agreement, he alleged that Diddy's friend Zip Martin is the one that gave him the weapon that was used to take out Tupac. And Keefe D told the investigator Greg Kading that Zip Martin had a special compartment to keep this weapon in his car that he drove to Las Vegas. And in this documentary, we have Greg Kading confirming that Zip Martin did drive the same type of vehicle that Keefe D alleged to Las Vegas this night. And then during this documentary, we heard from the former president of Bad Boy, Kirk Burroughs, who alleged during this time, Diddy had him hiring a whole bunch of people and getting cars to drive to Las Vegas. And he is now very curious into why Diddy wanted to do this. And he said, in his opinion, he now believes that Diddy was behind.
You know, there was the rumor that after Pac got killed, Puffy gave Zip $1 million that was supposed to be handed over, and Zip ended up keeping it. And I remember when I interviewed TK Kirkland, who was actually roommates with Zip at one point. They were that close. He actually said, yeah.
The feds said that too.
He said that shit actually happened. Well, the story that has circulated was that after Tupac got killed, Puffy allegedly gave the money.
I heard
to Zip.
Yes.
And Zip was supposed to give the money to Keefe and them.
Yes.
But he never gave the money to him.
But thank God he never gave him the money, right? Think about it. If he gave the money, Puffy would be in prison now, money for hire, a murder for hire. So thank God. It's just a true story. I'm not saying yes or no, but if he would have gave him them the money.
Without making claims, the film acknowledges why. Sean Combs continues to surface in public conversation. Journalists and former associates explain that proximity, not proof, kept his name alive for decades. The refusal to simplify becomes the documentary's strength when answers never arrive. Does repetition itself begin to function like an accusation?
It'd have been a murder for hire and Puffy would be locked up.
The FBI
said he's a dirty motherfucker.
Yeah, and he even said that, like, in retrospect, that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to Puffy. By Zip stealing the money, now Puffy isn't connected to that shit. Or else it would have been like a murder for hire or something, you know what I'm saying?
The FBI said Zip.
So the FBI told you the same
he was
thing.
a dirty motherfucker, yeah.
So the FBI told you that Zip kept that money as well.
They said Zip's a dirty motherfucker. Everybody crossed you. You're the last one to know every fucking thing. Even lawyers, your friends, everybody can cross your ass. You just don't know. Even the dudes you was riding in the car with every day, like a low jack. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, Zip had a history of ripping people off.
Yeah. He never ripped me off.
Well,
otherwise he wouldn't have.
Did he technically do? I mean, if he kept the money that supposedly.
True.
So actually, he ripped you off for $1 million.
Yeah. If that's what happened, yeah. They sure said it. The FBI said that. The people down, U.S. attorneys, all that, they said that. Zip's a piece. They said he's a piece of shit. But I didn't ever know that he got no money. But they said he got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Gene Deal said he got it too.
Oh, really?
Closest to the era described the East Coast-West Coast divide as more than rivalry. It was identity, money, and survival colliding. Tupac's independence disrupted power structures. Industry alliances hardened into personal fault lines. The film presents these tensions as accelerants, not verdicts, when ambition collides with fear. How quickly does competition become irreversible damage?
Would not be coming out of his room like that. And that's for real, for real. You understand? I'll be like, yo, when I had to, because most of the time, I would walk some of them to the door, walk them to get their cabs or whatever like that. Or, take them down the street and get their cabs and everything like that. And I'd be like, I'd be laughing. I just kept a smile on my face when it came to that shit. Because I know for a fact, because he said it himself. He said, I don't know how to talk to women. I don't know how to talk to girls. You understand? I said, you don't have to know how to talk to nobody. You're a millionaire. You got it. So he was jealous of Pac because Pac ain't had to do that. Pac had that aura, you know what I'm saying? And he probably knew how to communicate with women. And most women who he talked to that said stuff, said about him. You understand? Like, if we talk about the whole incident of the Quad Studio shit, like in the documentary, they was talking about that, right? You know what I'm saying? They talked about the Quad Studio shit, but they didn't mention the fact, and they left it out, that Big and C's did not know that Puff and Andre Harrell was in Jimmy Henchman's office the day Pac got killed. I mean, the day Pac got shot at Quad Studio. Let me repeat that again so it don't get mixed up in the whole thing. They did not mention that Andre Harrell and Puff Daddy and Jimmy Henchman were all in the office together. Puff was on the office because he was trying to spy on Big and them, because Big was writing the Junior Mafia stuff and Puff had his publishing. I told this to a couple of people before. I said it before, and you got people that's running with it like they knew the story in the whole 9 yards. You understand? They'll lie and you ask them, how do you know that? Who told you? They couldn't even tell you that. They'll tell you some lie, they did some kind of investigation, but it didn't happen like that. You understand? Puff was there to spy on Big because he had owned Big Publishing. And Big had turned around, and the same people who helped Puff get Big Publishing told Big to turn.
Tupac's family speaks not with certainty, but exhaustion. Decades later, they remain trapped between public speculation and private grief, asking why certain names circulate endlessly yet are never addressed formally. Their frustration reveals a deeper truth. Unresolved cases don't disappear, they spread. At what point does justice delayed become justice denied?
Something serious like that when I don't come to Puff like that. You understand what I'm saying? Every time I told Puff something was about to happen, it happened. You understand? We had a party with ODB now. And at Luke's club, yo, Puff, they about to start shooting up in this joint. How you know, Gene? Bruh, I know.
In your opinion, man, do you think Biggie would still be alive if Puffy would have listened to you?
I think, in my opinion, Big wouldn't have got killed that night. To say if he was still being alive, I don't know that. I don't have a time clock on somebody's life. And nobody knows. God, it comes to death comes like a thief in the night, man. We don't know what's going on and when it's gonna happen. But I truly believe that if Big would have stayed to his guns and not F with Puff like he was doing at first, not coming to none of the parties we was at. Did you hear what Lil C said? We wasn't even messing with Puff. We was doing our own thing. If they would have stayed with doing their own thing, maybe be still alive. Cause Big was a big star. Show me one picture out of LA, since they was going to all kind of clubs and all kind of spots and all kind of restaurants, that somebody got him with him. That somebody got those pictures with him. Have you seen any? Only place you seen them was at Sway, the radio stations, right? The video shoot. Where all the other places with all the other pictures? That one time in the mall. But they was out there 2 months. Going to all the stations and everything. See, I think that what we're looking at is this, is that two men with two great egos that got all the money in the world. Now see, Suge had the blueprint.
Documentary revisits the Las Vegas shooting with clinical restraint, timelines, testimonies, contradictions laid out without judgment. Investigators keep returning to the same unanswered paths. The repetition itself becomes the story. If evidence has existed for years, why does clarity remain out of reach?
You understand? Puff wanted that part too. He auditioned for that part too. You understand? People may not tell y'all that, but he auditioned for that part too. So, you know, he wanted, and then you gotta see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac. For instance, did you see that Grammy speech he did?
I mean, I've seen quite a few speeches from Diddy. I don't remember.
Hey, listen to the verbiage in there. He's saying the same stuff Pac was saying.
Oh, wow.
The same,
okay.
The same, if people go back, he's saying the same stuff with Pac. Why? Why? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He did have he disliked Pac, but he also loved him in certain things. It's a strange, weird, it's a strange, weird, I guess, relationship that they had, bro.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. Cause I even interviewed Reggie, and like Suge and Diddy were cool too. Even when that beef was going on, I heard they were still communicating and like not, I don't know, man. It was like this weird dynamic that they had.
Y'all thought it was an East Coast, West Coast war. One day we was in behind a house of blues. You hear me? We was driving through that. We had a reporter in the car. He was either from Billboard or he was from, what's that other big magazine? Rolling Stones. It may have been Rolling Stones. He's in the car with me. Riz is on the driver's side. Riz is on the passenger side in the back. The reporter's in the middle. I'm on the driver's side in the back. You got Kenny driving, Puff is in the front. We see Suge and Tupac, right? Pac is in a white Rolls Royce convertible. Suge is in a red Rolls Royce convertible. It's about a House of Blues. Behind the House of Blues is about.
Interviews and alleged confessions added layers, not resolution. Some accounts reversed earlier claims, others introduced new motives without verification instead of answers. The record grew more fragmented when stories multiply instead of align. What happens to
like it's like like the Twilight Zone, because it's like some evil, unstoppable shit that it just won't let me go. It's just got his hands on me and it just want to see me fail. And in my mind, sometimes when I'm drunk or I'm just laying down, I'll be thinking like, damn, is this true? Will I fail? Am I supposed to fail? I mean, should I just stop trying and give up? But then I'll be like, nah, hold on. That's exactly what they waiting for me to do. Is to just say, this is too much, I can't take it and give up. So now it's a fun little game that I cry at sometimes, I laugh at sometimes. I smile, I have good times and bad times, but it's a game. It's this game of life. Do I win or do I lose? I know one day they're gonna shut the game down, but I have to have as much fun and get around the board as many times as I can before it's my turn to leave.
That's for real.
And that's it.
That's for real. We chilling with Tupac right now. We're gonna come back with some more Tupac. We just lounging in this trailer. Me and Ellie, at the set. All right, we'll be right back. Oh. All right. Right, actually, about. All right, man. It's funny, man, when I be looking at cause I like to study. I like to watch how brothers evolve, in the shit, cause you know how this business is, man. Everything is pretentious. it's just like, you know, everybody get that one opportunity, and this is how who maintains it, and then making it to another opportunity that lasts. I look at the shit you've been through, dude. You know, I sit and think about it.
It's been career ending shit.
Yeah.
Shit that the next nigga, I mean, I done had problems with the IRS, the police, the Fed, government, raid. I mean, everything that they end your career. That's how you know somebody trying to end my
trying
career.
to get you.
You know these are not coincidences.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've been on probation for shit the niggas get turned loose on. You know what I mean? I went to jail for that year, not for rape, but for touching her ass. Sexually, they couldn't even get me on shit, but touching her ass.
And they put you in jail for a year, and I'm sitting there
And
thinking.
you know, if I go to any club, every bitch in there is grabbing me and touching me. And I went to jail for doing the same thing. And I didn't even do that. I mean, I'm saying in a mix of sex, you're gonna touch her. You know what I mean? This was me and her personally. But they took that, and that's
and they blew it out of proportion. And then, you know what fucked it up is how, like, the media and shit, I mean, you look in the papers, they paint you so bad. You know what I'm saying? But the motherfuckers, they know. Not only they know what goes on.
Resists sensationalism, presenting confusion not as spectacle, but as a system failure when narratives expand without convergence. Does truth become harder to uncover or easier to manipulate?
When I did the interview with Kirk Burrows, right, he told me a story about how when Tupac was in prison, he sent the letter to Bad Boy, letting them know when he get out, it was beef. Did you know about that?
I knew about the letter, but I didn't know about the content of it. You understand? See, you gotta realize, Pac had people like Jada Pickett, Jasmine Guy, and it was somebody else. They was going around trying to collect money to get Pac out of jail. Nobody from Bad Boy gave up a dime. Nobody from Big Camp gave up a dime. But Big told me himself, he said, man, I was broke, I ain't had no money. I'm like, yo, nigga, nobody tell you to do a show or something? You get the door? He didn't think about it. He didn't have any guidance on that.
So what got back to you when it came to the letter, even though you didn't know what the letter was about? But at that time when Tupac sent the letter to Bad Boy, what word got back to you about the letter? Or did Puffy and Kirk Burrows keep it under wraps? Just take me back, man, to real time when it came to that.
At the time, brother, let me just say, the work that I did, my computer, all I have to do is know a person's DIN number at the time. You see the letters go out? Do you understand that? You don't see the content, you see the letters. You see the letters that come in. You see the visitors, the people who call, and the calling log. I had privilege to that information.
One of the most haunting moments centers on Tupac's last hours, silent attempts to communicate, meaning trapped behind medical tubes. Family members recall the unbearable weight of decisions made without clarity, without consent, without closure.
So now, when I heard about the letter, I went to look at the law. Because anything that goes out, they keep a record of it. Anything that comes in, they keep a record of it. You can't see the content of it, but you know that it happened. So I knew it to be true when it came out.
As of late, Puffy, he been showing Tupac love on social media, man. Have you seen it? What you think about it?
Phony and bologna on a pickle sandwich. You want me to say it again? Huh? It's phonier than bologna on a pickle sandwich. Yes, he did idolize Tupac. We all knew that. We knew that about some of the speeches he said. He said the same shit that came out of Pac's mouth. But he didn't like him. If you ain't like that nigga in his life, how you gonna love him in his death? Oh, you glad to see the nigga dead now. All right, okay.
That's a very strong word to use, man. So you feel like Puffy, he idolized Tupac, and you really believe that?
Yeah, he idolized that dude. you gonna go and make it your business, I don't know, to sleep with every chick that he slept with? Or maybe the chicks was just making the rounds. I don't know. But he made it his business to sleep with every chick that Pac was sleeping with. Pac was the first one that came out with that yellow and black Versace shirt. What Puff go do? I want that same shirt right there.
So you feel like Puffy getting with some of the same females that Tupac got with, like Sally Richardson and Sarah Chapman. You think he only got with them because Tupac had them. That's the only reason why he got with them.
It probably was expired because they was fine, but it put a plus on it because Pac had them. It's a lot of fine women out here. You know what I'm saying? But I want the one that Pac had too. All right?
Speculation gives way to absence. The documentary shifts focus from theories to consequences. When loss is permanent and truth remains unreachable, does the search ever truly?
Puffy and Bad Boy was doing a video, and they was paying anyone to bring back a death row chain. So Pac looked at it like, this is deeper than Bloods and Crip. This is my enemies. You know, Puffy and them attacking us now because I'm with death row. So words on the street that if you bring back this death row chain so we can put in our video, this was the words on the street.
Right. Yeah. You know, like when I asked Bob James, he said there was. Like he said it very confidently. There was bounties on death row chains.
Yeah.
10,000, I think?
$10,000.
Right. Your mom had a death row chain.
She had a little bitty one.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they were snatching those.
Right. And there was no doubt this understanding that there was a bounty. We've never been able to track that down to a source where said I was there when an agreement was made, but that was the understanding on the street and among these people was that there was a bounty for the chain. And of course we see that becomes real at the Lakewood Mall when Orlando Anderson tries to snatch Trayvon Lane's chain.
Right. So a fight happens in the mall and they try to take Trayvon Lane's chain, who was affiliated with Mob Piru and Death Row.
Right.
But I guess they don't actually take the chain.
Yeah, I think they do take it. They get it off of him, but then during the Donnybrook whatever, he gets it back. He claims he got it back, and so there's no reason to believe he didn't. We never found that chain, at Orlando Anderson's house or anything like that. But certainly, if it wasn't an attempt, then they did actually secure it and then lost it back to Trayvon Lane. And it's important to remember that this Trayvon Lane is the person directly, aside Tupac Shakur when they confront Orlando Anderson again in Las Vegas.
Right, and Trayvon Lane, Orlando Anderson is Keefe D's nephew.
The documentary offers no verdict. Instead, it asks why this story still demands attention. Netflix doesn't solve the mystery, it legitimizes the questions. And 50 Cent's remarks underline a final reality: silence was never peace, only postponement. If a generation still demands answers, is this story really about the past, or about accountability in the present?